Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you here this evening for such a joyous occasion. At this time, please join our graduates in standing for our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening, friends and family. We are more than excited tonight to celebrate the achievements and accomplishments of Lake City High School's graduating class of 2020. Let's give them a hand. I'd like to welcome you here tonight on behalf of our Board of Education, Superintendent Blazak, and our caring and committed staff who work tirelessly to help our children succeed each day. At Lake City Area Schools, our goal as an educational community is to create in our classrooms and in our school the world that we wish you as students could live in outside of our classrooms and outside of our school. Our hope is that over the last 13 years, we have created that for each of you. At the onset of our time together this evening, I would like to take a moment to reflect on our year together as a community. Throughout the year, we have had enormous successes in athletics, in the arts, and successes academically. However, we have also faced enormous challenges as a community, weathering situations, including a pandemic, with grace and togetherness. No matter what came our way, we as a community have stood together, even and especially in challenging times. As others from different communities look on, I'm often asked, what are those things that make you as a community so strong? We believe at Lake City Area Schools that our students, our staff, and our families are strong because of the qualities that each of you possess. Qualities of leadership, scholarship, faith, integrity, and a commitment to yourselves, each other, and our community as a whole. These are the pillars that hold our community together, the pillars that are needed in our world to succeed each day. In today's age, we have plenty of opportunity to pledge our personal and familial allegiance to others, to causes and situations. In the midst of these moments that test our resolve as a community, we need to remember that we are better together than we are apart. We need to remember that we are all caring individuals who want the best for our children in our care each day. Seniors of the class of 2020, many of you have only known our town and community for the last 18 years. However, soon you will be scattered around the country. You are the best that our community has to offer this world, and your presence in workplaces, in trade schools, in barracks and platoons, and on university campuses will hopefully bring about the change that is necessary in our world today. Our hope is that we as an educational community have helped you in your journey. As you walk across this stage this evening, you walk into something bigger than yourselves. You join Trojans from every year and every generation that are connected to the Lake City Trojan legacy. Perseverance with excellence, service with compassion, leadership and creativity with style, and a continual pride and awareness of where you are from. This is the Trojan legacy. Class of 2020, this is a part of you, a part of your identity, and we could not be more proud to honor you this evening. At this time, I would like to take a moment to introduce the members of Lake City's School Board of Education who have joined us this evening. President Tom Redman, Vice President Rod Hose, Secretary Craig Artis, Treasurer Tamara McLeod-Helsel, Trustee Ona Booms, Trustee Brian Kunkel, and Trustee Joe McGinnis. Let's give them a hand. I now have the privilege of introducing the students who have earned top academic honors for the class of 2020. First, I would like to introduce our salutatorian, Jack David Pedler. Jack is the son of Todd and Emily Pedler. He earned the honor of salutatorian by earning a cumulative grade point average of 3.99 and will continue his education at the University of Michigan. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Jack David Pedler.
Good evening. I think at this point it's safe to say this year has not gone the way any of us thought it would. To say this year went by quickly is an understatement. Class of 2020, we did it. We made it to the day we've all been striving for since we started school. We've all had our ups and downs, but each and every one of those moments have led us to where we are today. First, I would like to take this moment to thank my teachers, my friends, my family, the community, and everyone else who has helped me to be where I am today. Without each and every one of you, I would not be where I am right now. The love and support everyone has given me over these years is irreplaceable. But above all, I am most thankful for my parents. Thank you for all those late nights you stayed up until my homework was done, even though I waited till the last minute to start it. Thank you for pushing me to always work harder, whether it was schoolwork, sports, or anything I ventured to do. And thank you for always being by my side. I can't even explain how grateful I am to have you both there for me. Thank you. I was recently asked, so what good things did you learn from quarantine? And to be honest, my gut reaction was nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was awful. And after I said that, it made me think, had I really learned nothing? Or was it just that I learned nothing new? So I thought about it, and there are some things I already knew. And it really didn't take a quarantine for me to learn. But maybe what the quarantine did was help remind me of what is important. Every day is a gift. Treat each and every one as though it is your last. Sometimes a moment in a day doesn't go the way you want it to. But don't get caught up on that small little thing. If we let that small little moment ruin our entire day, then there will be nothing left to enjoy. We need to look past the negatives in life and only focus on the positives, because the positives outweigh everything else and make each day worth living for. And finally, I'd like to talk about friendship. Friendship is what holds us all together. Friendship is what makes us who we are. Without my friends, every single one of them, I would not be the person I am today. Friends will come and go in life, but their impacts they gave you will be there forever. My friends are and always have been there for me. Through the good times and bad, your best and worst moments, your true friends will always be there. Friendship means more than being just friends. Friendship's about being family. Friendship means protecting each other from the hard things in life and making sure you have each other's backs. And I think each of us realized how very hard it was to be away from each other for so long. As we walked out of school on March 13th, none of us knew that would be our last day as a student at Lake City High School. But as we go on with the rest of our lives, there are going to be more surprises than we expect to see. As we come across new obstacles, we just need to continue to push forward and to remember what is important to us in life. We must continue to live every day as though it is our last, and we need to cherish the time we spend together with our friends and family, because as this year has proved, we never know when that could end up being just a memory. I hope we all continue to move forward in life and live every day to the fullest. Congratulations, class of 2020. We did it. Thank you.
Awesome job, Jack. Thank you. At this time, I'd like the senior band members to join the rest of the band in preparation for a final performance. It's also my pleasure to introduce the first of our 3 valedictorians, Riley Marie Bisbal. Riley is the daughter of Kurt and Tara Bisbal. She has earned the honor of co-valedictorian with a cumulative grade point average of 4.0. Her future plans are to attend Grand Valley State University and pursue a degree in the medical field. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Riley Bisbal.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for all being here on this special day. I would like to first thank my family, friends, and the faculty, and my fellow classmates for all the support throughout my high school career. I couldn't have done it without you. As I began to think about what to say, I discovered I could tell you multiple stories from my experience at Lake City High School, starting at the endless laughs with my teammates and the fun times during class. Then I realized how unique our class is. Our class is the only class in history to graduate during a pandemic. The class of 2020 who came into the world during 9/11 and graduates during such a historic event. I'd say we are a resilient group of young adults, 2020 graduates with 2020 vision. Despite the current pandemic and our lives starting during a major historic event, we all accomplished a milestone of great significance in our journey so far. Each and every one of us should be proud of the hard work that got us to this day. Our 2020 vision led us into a complicated world from the start of our lives to the end of our high school career. It's a huge disappointment that our senior year was cut short, but sometimes we are handed unfortunate situations in life. We have a choice: give up and be negative towards the situation, or move on with a positive attitude and outlook. Life is not perfect, but we can always make the most of it. It went by fast, just like our parents said it would. Even though we didn't get to finish school the way we wanted, we all know that everything comes to an end eventually. Today is the day that we are officially done with high school. Remember all of the good memories from the past and don't dwell on what you missed. We all have so much to be grateful for and so much to look forward to. My parents have always told me that these times are only a small portion of your life, so be grateful, work hard, and have fun. Our senior year is just a moment in our lives. We have so much ahead of us. When we look back, everyone will remember us as the class that graduated during a pandemic, but we are so much more than that. We are strong individuals that completed high school just like any other person. Appreciate the moments that you have been given and people you've been given to spend in these moments. Our lives have been presented with many different endings and beginnings as we continue in our journey of life. Before I am done, I have a few endings and beginnings for you to think about as your journey continues. Let's stop checking to see who has viewed our posts and begin by putting our phones down and interacting. Let's stop feeling embarrassed about things that make us feel happy and begin by not worrying what others think. Let's stop thinking loving ourselves and being proud means we're stuck up and begin by being confident in who we are. Let's stop comparing ourselves to others and begin believing in ourselves. Let's stop trying to impress others and begin by being ourselves and go into our future with a 2020 vision. In closing, I wish all my fellow graduates the best in your future. I know you all will do great things. Here's to the class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Riley. Awesome job. At this time, our band has prepared a special musical performance for this evening. Mr. Eisenreich and band, the floor is yours. Thank you, Mr. Eisenreich and band. Senior band members, it truly has been a pleasure to listen to your musicality and your performances over the years. Thank you for the amazing music that you have made. As you make your way back now, senior band members, to your seats, I have the pleasure of introducing the second of our valedictorians, Tess Marie Ising. Tess is the daughter of Joe and Jamie Ising. She has earned the honor of co-valedictorian for having earned a cumulative grade point average of 4.0. She will continue her education at Saginaw Valley State University, where she plans to study nursing. It's my honor to introduce you to Tess Marie Ising.
Good evening. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to have this ceremony, but the heat is a little unbearable. So I'll try to keep this short and sweet. I guess I can say I'm happy that the day got moved around so many times, because this is so much cooler than being in a gym. First off, I would like to thank everyone. Thank you to my family, of course, and my classmates' families as well, as well as the community for being so supportive these past few years. We wouldn't make it here today without you guys. The same goes for the teachers and other staff members, and the school board as well. I would also like to thank my classmates. You guys helped shape who I am today. We have been together for many years and have been going strong, especially since our senior year had ended much earlier than expected. Being here today shows how strong we are as a class and as each individual. Not only will this class go down in history for being the COVID-19 pandemic class, but for sports as well. We had amazing athletes who played well together. Our football team made it to semifinals twice in the last few years. Also, our girls basketball team made an appearance in the semifinals 2 years ago. Now that we have looked back at our accomplishments, we should look to our future. We all have a different path planned for this day, and I cannot wait to see where we all end up. My advice to you is to always be yourself, and like our class song says, always stay humble and kind. Congrats to the class of 2020, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tess. Great words. I would now like to introduce the third of our valedictorians, Emma Rose Elmquist. Emma is the daughter of Grant and Jennifer Elmquist. She has earned the honor of co-valedictorian for having earned a cumulative grade point and will continue her education at Alma College, where she plans to pursue a degree in biology pre-dentistry. It's my honor to introduce Emma Rose Elmquist.
Good evening, greetings and salutations, as Mr. Sloat would say. I'd like to thank all of you for gathering here this evening to celebrate the class of 2020 and our accomplishments. First, I'd like to thank my family for supporting me in reaching this point in my life where I have the knowledge and confidence in my next step. Thank you to my friends for providing me with external support and making high school memorable. And thank you, Lake City area schools, for making sure there was never a dull moment throughout my high school career. I've truly appreciated this opportunity. To the class of 2020, as we advance past high school, a divergent perspective holds its place from which we began with. Freshman to senior, we have made memories, created lifelong friendships, and enjoyed many adventures together. I know dances, Friday night lights, screaming student sections, and late night study dates will be missed. I remember being over the moon enthusiastic for high school as a little girl and picturing what I thought it'd be like. Reality is so much better. I used to think the seniors were crazy when telling us freshmen not to take the next 4 years for granted. They always said it will fly by. Now that's all I tell the underclassmen. As we transition into a world filled with higher expectations and a competitive atmosphere, along with the expected, we must implement our learnings for a successful future. High school was fun. The real world is what we make of it. However, tables can turn almost instantly. You realize those things we normally take for granted are now much more appreciated as they've been taken away from us. The world is filled with uncertainty. At this point, the unexpected should be expected. During this time, I found myself going through many emotional stages. After compiling all these emotions at once, I then felt nothing. It didn't take long to realize taking everything day by day and one step at a time was the only option for sanity. For as long as I can remember, my dad has used the quote, "win the day," quite often. At times I find it pretty redundant, but not now. I've embraced it. It's in these moments where character is built and we are able to reflect on what has transpired. The past cannot be changed. We can, however, control the path on which we're on in present actions. Perfect imperfection would be a couple of words I describe not only my high school career as, but also this half of 2020. It's clearly understood that the times we're involved with now are not ideal. Nonetheless, specifically to the class of 2020, the knowledge we've obtained, especially recently, has framed a new angle. As much as some believe we'd taken a 90-degree turn in the wrong direction, it's in fact complementary to our change of perspective. For those that aren't aware, a 90-degree angle and complementary angles, which are otherwise known as two angles that add up to 90 degrees, are incredibly similar. Our experiences are a bundle of angles adding up to the final 90. Sometimes it takes multiple stepping stones to reach the end destination, which can be hard to accept. However, this is only an emphasis on how God would never give each and every one of us something that we couldn't handle. Class of 2020 and all, being scared of opportunities and new experiences that lie ahead based upon past events isn't the correct mindset. Rather, there should be excitement. In times of distress, step back and understand the situation, accept the outcome, and move forward. To settle isn't enough. Most importantly, prove to yourself what you're made of and enjoy every minute of it. Life is thrilling and full of chances. Defy the odds and rise above. We can do this, class of 2020. Thank you to everyone who has supported us and me tremendously throughout this journey. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Go Trojans.
Great job, Emma. Thank you very much. At this time, our high school counselor, Jim Snyder, will introduce our commencement speaker.
All right. Man, it's good to see you guys here. Sit together, apart, I don't know what we're supposed to do, but it is my great pleasure tonight to be able to introduce to you our commencement speaker. Many of you know this man as a sports writer and a great storyteller that's been covering Lake City Trojans sports for 30 years. Others of you know him as a man of God who's been leading the local churches at the Assembly of God and United Methodist Church. And others of you just know him as your friend who's been there for you through good times, bad times, and everything. No matter how you know him, the one thing you do know is this man has a very servant heart and a love for you guys, the people of Lake City. And so as we hear what he's got to say on his heart for you guys today, I want you to really listen to what he's got for those nuggets of truth. In fact, that's my prayer, that you all remain lifelong learners and open to listen to servants in your community that can really help you. So with that, let's give a warm Lake City welcome to Mr. Mike Dunn.
It's a great honor to be here this evening. I really appreciate the senior class inviting me to do this. As a member of the local media here for a number of years, I feel like I've watched the members of this class grow up, and I have, and I've had a great vantage point. I feel especially honored to address this class that has accomplished so much in so many different arenas, as Dr. Hanel was just alluding to. I'm most familiar with the athletic achievements, of course, and was an eyewitness to many of those, notably the ascension of the football team the past few years, the girls' basketball team last year. But there's a lot more than that. There's also the academic achievements in abundance among members of the class of 2020, along with notable achievements in forensics and theater, woodworking, shop, music, and so much more. This class, in fact, has achieved more honors in more varied ways than any class since 1972. I'm not exactly sure what the class of 1972 did, but Craig Artis said to make sure and put that in there, so I did. Just joking. Thankfully, truthfully, this class of 2020 is a class of distinction, a class to be remembered and respected and honored, and it will be looked upon that way in future years because of your investments of time, talent, and energy during these past 12 or 13 years. You've already learned one very valuable lesson about life. Nothing is guaranteed. Things can happen beyond your control that impact you directly and force you into a position where you have to reach down into that reservoir of resolve that each of you have deep inside. Kind of like what Riley was referring to about resiliency. This is not going to defeat me. I'm going to adapt to this and I'm going to make the best of it. That resolve to persevere through life's storms and trials, what you've been faced with your senior year, is a critical component of success, as any parent or any educator in this stadium tonight can tell you. And so, number one, don't be a victim. It's easy to become a victim, but don't do it. Victims never reach their God-given potential. Choose not to take the easy way out, even if others around you are doing that very thing. Choose to be responsible for your decisions in life. Choose to be accountable. Choose to conquer the next hurdle you face, even though it requires sacrifice and sweat. Don't allow it to detour your dreams and your aspirations. If you take on the hurdles as they come, you'll be stronger for it. And I promise you this, you'll go farther on the path of success in life. 2, be diligent and be dependable. These two go hand in hand. If you're diligent and dependable, if you work hard and if people know they can trust your word, you will gain the respect of everyone around you, whether future classmates or co-workers or members of your military unit. You will also gain the respect of those in authority over you. Because believe me, those in authority are always looking for those two attributes. Be diligent and be dependable. Next, be good. Be good. This is a choice we all have in life. And you ask, well, what does it mean to be good? The chief principle is this: treat others the way you want to be treated. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If the majority of people did this one simple thing, what kind of world would it be? How much different? How much better? What I'm saying to you this evening is you can be an instrument of positive change in your world, your environment. Care about the needs of others. Live a proactive life. Be part of the solution. Be a peacemaker. Be a giver. That's what you're designed by God to do. If you do this, you'll have a far greater impact than you can even imagine sitting here now. Next, be determined. It was 4th down and 20 yards to go with the game clock down to the final 30 seconds. It happened right over there. Lake City was losing to McBain last fall. If the Trojans didn't make a play here, the game would be lost. Quarterback Hunter Bisball rolled to his left and launched a pass and maybe a prayer down the left sidelines. And there was Jack Pedler. And he leaped between 2 McBain defenders, and somehow he snatched that ball out of the air, and he helped to salvage what would be a great Lake City victory. I'm convinced that Jack jumped higher in that moment than he ever did before in his life, because no one in that stadium wanted to catch that ball more than he did. The hopes of his teammates were riding on that catch, and Jack was determined. Sometimes determination will take you to greater heights than you've ever been before. When you're determined, you're hard to stop. Be determined. Next, be flexible. Okay, now the ball's on the 5-yard line, right over here. The game clock is down to 20 seconds or less. Tyler McGinnis lines up outside his receiver right over here. The play isn't designed to go to him, but he notices how the defense is set up, and he knows if he runs to the goal line and cuts this way, he'll probably be open. Quarterback Hunter Bisball is calling signals. He notices the defensive alignment, and he recognizes the same thing. Hunter rolls to his right. Tyler zigs while the defense zags. Hunter throws the pass. Tyler catches it, and Lake City wins. Much to the delight of the Lake City parents and fans in the stadiums. A lot of you were here that night. Sometimes in life it pays to be flexible. Class of 2020, you're facing obstacles and challenges that have risen so suddenly and brought disruptions and hardships and some painful losses too. Be flexible. Be adaptable. Accept what you're unable to change and find other routes to your desired destination. You can still get there. Finally, be durable. I thoroughly enjoyed covering the incredible journey of the girls' basketball team to the Final Four last year. What a great achievements for the girls and Coach Tisron and his staff. I was at many of the games taking photos behind the basket. My favorite game, though, was the quarterfinals at Gaylord against Westwood of Ishpeming. Many of you were there for that one. The Westwood team was a real good team, the real deal. They were well coached. They had 2 talented guards who just wore out the net from three-point land. They came in with a record of 23-1. And for a while it looked like it was Westwood's game. Lake City trailed after the first quarter. Lake City trailed at the half. The turning point in the game came with 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and Lake City down by 9 points, 31-22. And that's when Coach Tisron made the fateful switch in the defense, put Riley out front as a defender, something that'll live in Trojan lore for years and years, and rightfully so. But something else was going on. Willing to stretch yourself. Don't be a victim. Be diligent and dependable. Be good. Be part of the solution. Be determined. Be flexible. Be durable. Last thing I'm going to say is this. I'm 65 years old, and as I look back on my own life, I can say without question, anything good in me, anything good I've been able to do is because of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. I put my hand in his when I was 23 in an Army barracks at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and I've never had an hour or even a minute of regret. I failed him many times, but he's never failed me, ever. He's there, he's real, he cares. His arm is always extended. Thank you again, class of 2020, for this great honor of addressing you tonight. God bless you, and God go with you.
Thank you, Mike. Those are incredible words for all of us here this evening. I'd like to now introduce our Superintendent of Lake City Area Schools, Kimberly Blazak.
Before I go ahead and do my official statement for our graduates, I just want to tell you how very, very proud we are of each and every one of you. And we are so pleased to be here on this football field sharing this graduation moment with you. So may God bless each and every one of you as you leave Lake City Schools, and we will miss you. At this time, I have the pleasure of publicly announcing to you that the students walking across the stage tonight have met or exceeded the graduation requirements set forth by the Lake City Area Schools Board of Education and the state of Michigan, and are therefore certified as graduated. Congratulations.
Randy Elizabeth Anderson. Abby Joe Hall. Martina Marguerite Gardner.
Good job, Martina.
Adriana Olivia Acerto.
Congratulations.
Zachary and Lauren Belkowitz.
Good job, Zach.
Riley Marie Bisbal. Lindsay Marie Bloomberg. Samantha Paula Allen. Crystal Marie Bowers. Sarah Marie Bransco. Caleb Allen Brown. Patricia Bueno Segura. Bradley Blake Burton.
Oh boy.
Taylor Robert Bukovich. Chelsea Lynn Watson. Ethan John Chandler. Matira Charles Wilton. Brandon Eugene Shisheli. Samantha Lynn Silman. Aaron James Comp Jr. Dawson Dean Corrigan. Jonathan Dallas Lee Cottrell. Danielle May Corte. Christopher Michael Cox Jr.
Good job, Chris.
Riley Ann Crawford. Aaron J. Davis. Janessa Ellen Dieter. Ace Hart Juilliard. Tess Marie Isaac. Emma Rose Elmquist. Cassandra Jo Fry. Victor Von Gell.
Congrats, buddy. Proud of you.
Jared Allen Goshke.
Congrats, big guy.
Angelica Lee Hall. Joshua Phoenix Hall. Olivia K. Helsel. Megan Ann Bowes. Alyssa Ann Hutchinson. Dustin Antonio Jackson.
Congrats, buddy.
Maya Joy Johnson. Nakia LeVay King.
Good job, Kia.
Rex Stephen Levine. Abigail Louise Larson. Sean Gregory Ruthie II.
Good job, Sean.
Benjamin Ray Marion. Takoa Jean Marshall. Katie Lee McDermott. Logan Gabriel McDonald.
That's so good.
Tyler Thomas McGinnis.
That's tight.
Robert William Mosier III.
Robert.
Kaylin Rose Musselman. Nicholas Alexander Newman. An Hong Nguyen. Hannah Elizabeth Nutt. Chelsea Ann Olson.
Good job, Chelsea.
Hope Mary Angel Page. Jack David Petler.
Thanks, Jack.
Fernando Sebastian Pena.
Congratulations, sir. Thank you, sir.
An Hong Fan. Lucha Fong Prapa. Paige Nicole Pitts. Juan Montez Lobo.
That's not me. My name's not Juan.
Austin Dean Potter.
All right. Oh, boy.
Victor Alexandra Bravo Ferrier. Israel Manuel Ramos. Brianna Faith Reed. Caleb John Willison Reisner. Jacob Alan Rosecrans. Joseph Robert Linton Rule. Kyle Isaac Grace Scarborough. Cheyenne Dawn Schwartz. Ava Rosemary Scott. Ruby May Shane. Joshua David Shigley. Brooke Beatrice Silvers. Austin Michael Small. Paula Soros dos Santos. Zachary Tyler Allen Stockman. Autumn Jade Thomas.
Okay, if I give you anything.
Natalie Davis Ty. Olivia Marie Torres. Madeline Rose Van Heisen.
Is this an extra one?
Jessica Louise Wade. Katie B. Wagner. Cheyenne G. Patulski. Haley Ann Yonkin.
Class of 2020. Class of 2020, at this time, please face the audience. You may now move your tassels from the right to the left, signifying that you are officially graduates. It has been our pleasure to celebrate with you this evening. Throughout the next chapters of your life, you will travel many places and you will become many things. However, you will always be a Lake City Trojan. At this time, you may now toss your TAMs. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony this evening. You may now move on to the field to greet